How are you doing? Welcome to the Gag with Angie. My name is Angela Mugodi and I'm the host for this amazing show, your host with the most. Now today is one of those amazing shows. I'm really excited to be facilitating one of these amazing shows. We are going to be talking about something very, very profound. We're going to be looking at this question: do you think the education system is failing us as a nation? Now to unpack this, I have amazing guests who have volunteered to be part of this amazing show. Now, as a nation, we have to keep going back to our systems. We have to keep on reverting back to our systems to see if they're serving us as a nation or if they are failing us. If they're failing us, some rectifications have to be made. Joining me in studio is this amazing, lovely guests of mine, and I would like you guys to introduce yourselves to the public.
Hello people, my name is Shangon Mavula. I am the Client Relations Manager of Empire Holdings. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a tutor, and I'm also a counselor. Thank you very much, Angie, for inviting me to the studio.
It's my absolute pleasure to be with you too, gentlemen.
Dumelang Botswana ko gae. The name is Thabanga Tsotse. I'm a fourth year student at the University of Botswana, pursuing my bachelor's degree in lifelong learning and community development. I would like to thank you, Angie, for this wonderful opportunity. I'm glad to be here.
It's my absolute pleasure. I'm really excited to be having you guys here. And today we just have a serious topic on the table. The question is, do you think our education system is failing us? Because more often we hear people complaining, okay, our students go to school, but afterwards there are no jobs. But then other people will be like, no, the education system is okay. The problem is with the people and all that and all that. But today I just want to get your sides. What do you think? Do you think our education system is failing us as a nation, or it's actually serving us? I'll start with you, Ms. Changano.
In my own view, I believe that our educational system is just okay. First of all, what we need to know is what is the purpose of education? What is the purpose of academics? From what I've learned, education and educational academics prepares us to see the problems in the world and solve them.
Yes.
The purpose is not for us to be employed, or the purpose is not to get jobs after working. All those things that you learn from primary to university level, it is to prepare our mind in order to see problems that exist out there, and also for us to solve those kind of problems. We are taught different skills, we are taught different things at school, different things that can be able to meet the market out there. The problem is not the education system, but the problem is us people, how we perceive and how we use what we have learned.
I have a question for you, but why is it that the stakeholders in the education system keep pushing the agenda that education is the key to success? So once we start telling our children that is the key to success, in our minds, in their minds, they say, okay, we're going for education so that we can get a job, because a job is part of success.
First of all, let me start by saying that success does not necessarily mean being employed by somebody else. It also means yourself creating jobs for empowering ourselves. Like I was saying, the purpose of education is to empower us to be able to stand in the world out there. I was having a conversation with one of my former lecturers, and we mostly spoke about some of the courses that are offered at University of Botswana. I was telling him, I'm one of the people who feel that some of the courses that are offered there, they are not really important looking at what is needed in the market out there. But then he made me see that we are not taught so that we can be employed. We are taught so that we can empower ourselves, use the skills that we gain at different schools to empower ourselves, to create jobs for ourselves. Even if you have studied English at university, you can do something with that English. You have the skills, because even if English is offered, for example, if you need to write a business plan, because I was of the argument that some of the courses like English, they are really of no importance, but he made me see that In order to write a business plan for SEDA, you need a perfect English. In order to write an application letter, you need a perfect English. So every course that is offered has its own importance.
Okay, last question before I move to Mr. Thabang. You just mentioned that it's not education. Our education is not just aimed at helping us get employment after school. It's also aimed at helping us to be entrepreneurs. But do you actually think that our education system empowers the young ones to be entrepreneurs after school?
I believe our education system is very fine. It empowers the youth, it empowers us in many ways. If you could look around, we have many business schools, we have vocational colleges, all those platforms, they have created an opportunity for us to be entrepreneurs. It's only that us as the youth, is the mindset. We have this notion that you need to be employed in order to be successful. But if you look around in other countries, most people are not employed. They do businesses for themselves. We live in a world of technology. How many people do we have here in Botswana who are using that to their advantage? Right now we have people, mega millionaires like Mark Zuckerberg. Those are some of the things that if you utilize your knowledge, you can go somewhere as a person.
Okay, I'll get back to you, Shengano. Thank you so much for your input. Let me move to Mr. Thabang. What do you think, Mr. Thabang? Do you think our education system is failing us or it's saving us as a nation?
Thank you, Angie, for that wonderful opportunity. Personally, I think the education system of Botswana is failing us. My reasons for saying that are as follows. I think there's a production of incomplete, unfinished and depressed graduates, right? Basically, when you look at the graduates that are being produced nowadays, most of them are rich in theory, but they're not rich in practice.
I'm sorry to cut you short right now, but what makes you think that they're depressed?
Okay. I was just about to get to that, but
okay,
because you just asked it, let me just say it either way. The reason I'm saying that depressed is because when you look at the way the education system is designed, most of them, when they come from, let me say, senior school, they tend to change their dreams and aspirations. Why? Because they are segregated depending on their achievement, how much or how many points they've acquired. As a result, they end up doing courses they never even wanted to do in the first place. Some actually end up doing some courses because of, like she said earlier on, people have this perception that, people just have this perception that some courses, like science-related courses, are very prestigious. So as a result, they tend to flee from the passionate courses they wanted to do and transfer to those science-based courses, within which they are just after the money. It's not really because they wanted to be there. Years along the way, while they're still working in those jobs, their interest goes. They start to become more stressed because they're not enjoying what they're doing. When you look at other countries per se, most of the people are pursuing jobs they're interested in. They're pursuing jobs that actually excite them, that actually relate with them, you know. So as a result, they're always happy. They're at their highest productive rate. Exactly. So I feel like the education system of Botswana needs to actually fix that side.
How can it be fixed to in such a way that we can all do what we want to pursue?
I want to believe that it's a matter of what do you call practice makes perfect, right? For those people that have always wanted to, just an example, for those people that have always wanted to pursue science, right, but have found it difficult or troublesome for them to do so, I feel like maybe an extension of their ideas would be beneficial so that they can slowly be taught, right? People who usually do sciences nowadays are fast learners, right? So people who fail to go there, we naturally just assume they're slow learners, right? So I feel like if those people had the right kind of attention, they would actually grasp the content that's being taught, and they would eventually reach that destination of actually being able to fit within that career path. So I feel like that is one thing that Botswana could do, or the education system could improve. Another point that I would like to highlight is that it encourages inequality. You know, when you look at the Marxist theory, you'll see that they are bourgeoisies and proletariats. The bourgeoisie are those who control the means of production, and the proletariat are those who actually have to work, the laborers, right? So it's a division between the rich and the poor. It's the same with education. When you've achieved low points, you can't move on unless you have money. When you have money, everything becomes simple. You just pay for a certificate course and you get it. But in terms of those who do not have money, you have to struggle.
Wow.
That is where the problem is.
I'll have to stop you here and invite Shankar into this one. What do you have to say about this? Does the education system add to the gap between the rich and the poor?
I believe that what he's saying, based in Botswana, the government has made it so easy for everyone to have education in Botswana. We all know that our government offers free sponsorship to everyone. So it's upon us that when you are offered such a platform, you work hard towards that. I believe that the government has really tried to close the gap between the rich and the poor. From that what he's saying, yes, it has managed to close that gap. Some people who are not even able to pay for themselves for tertiary. We have vocational colleges which are for free. We have so many different schools which we can do short courses for those who are not even able to go up high. Again, we also have some private schools which can offer courses and you pay on monthly basis. These are some of the things that the government has enabled so that everyone can be able to use them, to utilize them. Yes.
Your point, let me just clarify your point. Your point in Elokore, our education system is structured in such a way that there are going to be those students who will be studying such and such course, and then those who will be studying such and such course. It's sort of like a pyramid, which means that who studied A will be richer than who studied B, right? So it creates that gap. That's what you're saying.
Yes, as well as when you look at even from senior school, you know that there's a division between pure courses, single courses, and all of that. And we both know that the treatment, like the treatment that goes to pure students, is usually higher than the one that goes to double. In the singles, I don't even want to mention it. I'm sure all of us here have experienced that. So that is one concerning thing, because it kills that confidence that students have. You might not be good at maths and sciences, but it does not mean that when it comes to arts, you don't excel. It does not mean in other fields you're not a prodigy. So I feel like that is where the problem is. Even to actually comment on what she just said.